Hey y'all, I'm Letitia Rashay.
And I'm Quita Renee.
Queen so prissy or whatever. Today we are recapping the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 10. I think it's called Meditation and Mediation, and that was a proper
Mm,
title. What you think?
I definitely agree. How do you feel about meditation? It's needed, but I don't think a lot of people do it.
I think meditation is definitely needed, and we can see from this episode that the girls tried to do a little bit of meditation. It failed. Miserably
Failed.
failed, but they tried it. So let's just recap everything from top to bottom. I took a few notes, but Kelly did. They showed a scene with Kelly with her kid. I even put in my notes. I didn't find anything interesting about this scene, so I was just gonna tap into you to see if you had anything you wanted to discuss from there because I did not.
Like to see like the little sidebar scenes, like Kelly with her kids, and who was that? Britt Edie with her husband. I mean, they cute fillers.
I never like any scene with Brie and her husband. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because I'm one of them people when I like you, I just don't give a damn about nothing you get going on.
I can
I'm very,
agree. You
I'm
are
like
like that.
very
Hmm.
uninterested.
Very much.
Especially if I didn't take any kind of liking to them at all. Like most times, if I just don't like you, I'm not interested. Period. But I just don't have anything with her. But moving along, I the next scene was with Shamia. So Shamia meeting up with Ralph and then pulling a drawfo and tagging in Portia. I did not like that. I thought it was tasteless. I thought it was classless, and ultimately, I thought it was a get back at Drew.
It was, how do they say it? It was very uncouth.
She didn't
Okay.
have couth or decorum about herself.
None whatsoever. I thought it was messy that Portia was there, and the even messier that Shamia thought that was a good idea to invite Ralph.
And then I feel like she also tried to justify it by saying that her and Raph were on a podcast. I mean, girl, the podcast only lasted like 1 or 2 episodes. It was her as the host, Ralph, Samuel's fine husband. What was his
Oh,
name? He was fine.
that's a tall
Yeah.
glass of chocolate
And
milk.
Todd.
Yes.
Todd and Ralph and the fine husband of Sanya's. So she tried to justify it
That
by
don't.
saying that, and she was like, she don't see a problem with her meeting up with Ralph. And right, that in itself, I felt like was a problem because I'm like, you don't have an issue with Drew. But if you had such a strong conviction about Drew working with
Right.
Portia's baby daddy, why don't you see that it's an issue that you would be meeting up with Ralph? Did she call and tell Drew? Did we get that? What?
I highly doubt that happened. Highly.
So I think the problem and disconnect I'm having with Shamia, and I like Shamia. And I said I was
I'm
gonna stop saying I
falling
like.
back.
Yeah, I'm treading lightly. I still have a liking for Shamia because I like her personality. And from this episode,
Right.
seeing her personality, I'm like, I can see how her friendship with Portia is like it's fun because they both
Hmm.
funny. It kind of remind me of us a little bit because I'm like,
Yeah.
time you got inside jokes and y'all both got a sense of humor, you can see why y'all friends. But
Right. Right.
the more I'm watching Shamia, the more I'm seeing why people call her Portia's lap dog. And I wouldn't use that exact term, but it's like even with this thing, you have inserted yourself in Portia's beef and you don't
Hmm.
even see it because you do it so blindly.
And I would like to think that this is TV. I'm
Mhm.
playing a role for TV. That
Ooh,
she isn't like that in real life. I would hope that this is her personality to just act like that. Because baby, it is not cute. It is not cute. And she's trying to pose it as her being loyal, but I'm just like, girl, read the room.
exactly, exactly. Then how you feel about her? She said, "Oh, I'm gonna bring somebody because I don't want nobody to be saying when Ralph went off to Tampa, he was with Shamia. But why would you bring Portia?
Right.
That's a mess,
Now I understood why she felt like she need to bring somebody because the last thing I need somebody in the street saying that they saw me and this man together. I'm like, absolutely not. This is a group setting, but it was real tacky to bring Portia.
right?
Real
And
tacky.
like honing back on what you said, like I understand it's a show. I even put that little piece. I was like, I understand this
Right.
is a show. Dot 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 because I wanted to get my own thoughts off the rip.
Right.
But I'm like, I do know that they need like those shock value moments. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, I wonder, is Shamia doing it because this is who she is? She want to be a loyal friend, or does she understand that this is a reality show and you have to do certain messy things like that? Huh?
I'm gonna try to lean on the latter.
Okay.
That's it. That's all.
Even in this scene, also, Portia pulls out her phone. Miss
Portia,
ass.
Por- I- and I'm so shocked to hear myself say that because, baby, I was a fan of Miss freaking Frat. I was a fan of Don't Call Portia. Like, I was a true fan, but this season is showing me a side of her, and maybe that side was always there, and I was just being blind to it. But I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I don't like it.
I don't like it
I
either. And I've always seen it. You ignored a very pivotal season to get. She ignored the whole season, y'all. Where Portia was like, "But you told me that. But you told me that, Phaedra. Why would you tell me that? I was just riding for you. I only repeated it because you said it, Phaedra." I ain't really fooled with her since then. And when she snatched up that lady husband, it took the cake for me. So I haven't loved Portia since that season. You need to go back and watch it since it's on the Peacock.
See,
Yeah.
we definitely had. Okay, so you are correct. I did not watch the reunion where
You
Phaedra
said you didn't want
basically.
to Phaedra differently because you love Phaedra, but that you
I
wasn't.
love Phaedra. I love Phaedra. So I didn't want to look at her. Speaking of, I look at her differently now, Phaedra, on how she did Married to Medicine. Whole nother topic, whole nother time.
Hold.
But I didn't see their reunion. But with the whole situation, I didn't feel the same way that she took that lady husband. Unpopular opinion.
Do share. Okay, okay.
I
Let me ask
did
you first. Do you not feel that way because you are one of those people that takes this stance of if a man gonna go, he was never hers to begin with? Or
no,
are you using all the context that when you saw Fallon got pregnant by the dude and she kind of
no.
okay, so stance.
And then you can put me under the dummy umbrella, but it was my understanding that he was not with his wife at the time. Technically, he was married. You know, people do this all the time. Unfortunately, they were not together. So, under the guidelines that you are single,
I always have a different
you
opinion.
are free to do what we want to do. Like, and we've had this conversation before as well. I feel like when you are married and then you separated with your partner, you can date. I want to pick that person all the way in the back.
Thank you, teacher, for finally seeing my arm. So, are you okay? Seeing that we do understand that reality shows need the wow factor, right? They need these moments.
Right, right,
We do understand because of the context that was given to us that Portia was not really Fallon's friend, but they
right.
introduced Fallon as like I guess somebody's
Friend
friend.
on the show. Yeah.
Portia brought her in. Portia walked her in.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. You know, you like to be
Okay. I
with.
listen.
So whether we are real friends or not, and
Mm-hmm.
I come into your house with
The
my
or
big
not.
old booty by your big old pool,
Mm-hmm.
say, "Hey, nice to meet you," to your husband, and then after the show wrapped, I'm with your husband and dating whether we're separated or not. I
I
feel
didn't
away.
say I didn't say that that wasn't a messy situation. What I said, I don't think that Portia took that lady husband. Two different things.
I digress, and we beg to differ.
Because that part, I mean, yes, I was in your house, but again, we weren't friends. We know how this show stuff work. They have to bring in somebody and say, "Oh, you my friend." Like I brought my friend onto the show, and then they have never spent any time with each other whatsoever. But I just felt like it was a situation where Fallon had went on about her business.
Okay.
He wanted to go on about his business, and
Okay.
they ended up together.
So
Messy boots, yes.
So if I come to your party, and you
Girl,
know
don't do it.
your husband got a lot of friends who have wives. I have never hung
Oh.
out with those friends or those wives, but if I come to the little Halloween party and I say, "Oh, how y'all doing?" He was with her at the time, and I'm like, "Hey,
Mhm. Mhm.
and then they going through some marital woes. So in the next 3
Uh-huh.
months, I'm dating him
Uh-huh.
and we're
Uh-huh.
engaged. I mean, that's a messy situation too? But do
It's
I
a
get
messy
a pass
situation.
or are because now the homegirl can be like, "Oh, Quita had her friend over there, knowing she probably been messing with my man the whole time." Everything is about perception, I guess, right? And
Very
everybody
much.
thinks different. So let's just move on. I mean,
We and it's funny because insider, we had a situation like this. Yeah.
yes, and I didn't even date the man. Yo, somebody else did
Girl,
it.
you
No.
came over my house with
Oh,
that
with
cute
that
ass
Bob.
bob.
Woo,
That baby,
that
that Beyonce
Bob
bob
was
tore it up. Baby, that party was turned upside down. Shout out to Letitia Rashay.
Bob. That Bob was fine. I need to go visit that lady again.
Baby, leave that bob alone, baby. You caused some problems and you ain't even do
I'ma just keep my nappy curl. It done help me stay out of trouble. Back to this episode though. So when they were at the table with Ralph, Portia pulls out these messages, and is it me? Or was she insinuating that Drew was trying to pay in them flapjack cheeks instead of paying Dennis money? Was that what she was trying to insinuate? And I'm gonna just say this: I didn't believe any of it was true. I like Drew. I'm going to say that. I don't know what Drew is capable of. I don't know Drew. Even watching her on all these seasons, but I don't believe that that's what Drew would do. Even though I don't know her, I don't think so.
I'm with that as well.
No,
I'm with it. I'm with that as well. I don't feel like that's something that Drew would have did. I mean,
I don't either. I
other
just
than Dennis having hot dogs and making money off of hot dogs,
mhm.
who want
Who want Dennis? Poor you
Dennis?
the only one want Dennis, and you didn't
I
even want
mean,
him away as soon as you saw an African with more opportunity and you thought he had more money. So she don't
mm,
care about him either. She also mentioned at this dinner that she was like, "Oh, and then she was talking about my child." And I think we talked about this before. I hate when people do that. This girl
me
was not,
too.
it does, and she said, "Well, who was at the table?" She was like, Shamia brought it back completely different. Like she was talking about Pilar. But later when Portia said with Angela, Angela was like, "No, she didn't bring it that way. She was just saying this album could ultimately help send Pilar to college." And I'm like, it don't matter what way Shamia brought that back,
Hmm.
you would have
It's gonna
taken
be
it out of
upset,
context because you are mad at her for working
right?
with, right?
I agree. I was
But
just like, baby, it ain't that deep. Just like with the whole Kenya thing, she was like, this lady is trying to take food out of my daughter's mouth. And I was like, girl, your arm should be hurting from reaching. Like, Jesus.
girl, and then like when Portia made that comment about well, that's not how Shamia brought it back. I was thinking, I'm like, oh, my wheels were turning. I'm like, that's her second time saying Shamia brought
Yep.
something wrong.
Yep.
Shamia also brought back when she first met Kelly, and Kelly was like, why did she take that woman's husband? It
Hmm.
don't matter which way Shamia brought it. She came for you and didn't know you.
Right.
Came for you
Very
and
much.
so it don't matter which way she brought that back either. I'm like, okay, so they setting up these storylines to go like Shamia coming back and delivering everything wrong to Portia to cause
But
commotion.
she has. But she has, though. I told you she put way too much dip on her chip. I'm like, baby, you got to bring it down.
You think so?
I called it out before.
Like what part you thought she put a little too much spinach dip on her chip?
So the one that you just named, the one where Shamia was talking to, well, she was trying to recant what Drew was saying about Angela, or Angela was saying about Drew. But do you know what I'm talking about? Where they were up in a limo, the truck, or whatever. My memory is shot, baby.
And you know ours
But
ain't one memory bank. So
but but when she brought it back to Portia, she said it completely wrong. She made
okay.
it seem like Angela didn't really have Drew back. That's what it was.
That it was.
Hmm.
She did okay, I do remember that part. Okay, Shamia. We got you. I didn't try to
I
defend you
I'm
this. I
like, girl,
Portia, but it didn't work.
I'm like, you need a recorder, baby, so you can bring it back to me exactly how it was said. Tone it all.
Yes. And the last part I'm gonna mention about this meeting with Ralph is when he was like, all I care about is the kids. All I care about is the kids. That's all. I was just like, boy, you a bitch. Just stop. You don't care about the kids because you sitting around here frolicking around town with her co-stars. You at the table right now buying them, trying to order shots. These are not your homegirls. Ralph, you acting like Lou Peter. He
He
acting
very
like Peter.
he very much give me Stevie J when he be like, but I'm the good guy.
Oh
I'm
my
the
God.
good guy, but you're not.
You
But
not.
you are
You
not,
trash
sir.
in the basement.
Very much.
Very much so trash. Let's
Like,
talk about Angela too. I want to talk to skip to Angela because they skipped to her scene with her investment property. She says she has five. This is why I like Angela. She says she has 5 investment properties that have
hello.
not now and single one of them have sold. And
Mm,
she's struggling to sell them. And she says she's $2 million in debt. That's why I like Angela. From her opening sentence right there, I was like, I like her. Because who want to get on this TV and say, I got 5 houses, them hoes ain't selling, I put all my money into them, and I'm in the negative 2,000. See, Toya didn't even do that, and we knew she was in arrears because Audra had Captain Lador with her and gave us the figurines and said she ain't got it. So I like Angela.
I
I like
like Angela too. I like Angela wants somebody to buy that house or a house from her. She don't care which one it is. So it doesn't make a big difference with her saying that, oh, I'm in the negative or I'm in debt. Buy a house. If you
Yeah,
feel bad for me, buy a house. You looking for a house, Betty? You looking for a house?
I can't buy one from Angela. She said she in arrears. She got one for a whopping
I think
two
the
hundred.
the cheapest one is
No, if she got one for like $250.
no Bookie. I think the cheapest one was 800,000. I think.
I give her $800. I can't give her 800.
But you give her the $800 and she'll probably be able to fill that pool up. The producer shady. I would not.
Why would they show that green ass pool? I'm sure that house
Why?
had an offer.
Why they show that baby closet?
And I think
I
it was
said,
separate
is it?
from the room. It wasn't even in the room, was it?
it I said, is this the linen closet? Like, what is this where I put my towels?
It
Like,
looked
what we
like
doing?
it looked like it needs some shelves for your canned goods. I promise. It did not look like no.
Maybe it's the pantry.
Maybe it was. I think they fucking around. They
We
wanted her
gonna
to
say we gonna say pantry. That's what we gonna do.
get the pantry closet because you need one
Yeah.
for the room. When you want to snack.
No.
Okay.
No. Uh,
So move. So Kelly did meet Angela at this investment property because
hmm
I think Kelly is looking to buy a house because that's what Angela was like. Maybe she want to buy the
hmm
house, but anyway,
That
um,
baby desperate.
my first time seeing Kelly. I'm assuming since they didn't check Portia about saying she asleep with Angela's husband.
Oh,
And because the very next day, Angela came and was like, "Hey," trying to hug her. And she was like, "Gone with that fake shit now, dog."
yeah. And I
So
was with her.
yeah, I was with her too. I don't know. I was with her. I was with her too. But Kelly tries it again. She comes on in, and that's what I like about Kelly too. I think that's what makes me like Kelly. Cause I would have been like, girl, fuck you. I ain't gonna keep coming to you trying to blend in and trying to, apologize for something I ain't do. I'm a fuck you type. I wouldn't have came again. But I like that Kelly understands the assignment. She does know that this is a show. And I would like to believe that she's genuine too and really trying to say, look, I I don't agree with what she did. I don't agree with what she said. I'm just trying to extend the olive branch too. So I like Kelly for that.
So let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Do you think that Angela is this forgiving,
No.
or this is strictly for the show?
I watched her, and I think I watched Angela on Watch What Happens Live, and she was like, "This is hard for me." She was like, "This is really hard because it forces you to move fast." And I think a few other people have said this over the years that
Yeah.
but there's somebody that's mentally mature enough to understand that this is assignment, as opposed to somebody that does not, which is Sweet Tea, which is why she got the boot. Have you heard?
Yeah, I did
They
hear.
freed her and Greg
I
the boot.
did hear.
Yeah,
Let's
they freed him. Because he did say,
Not
got
she,
a new life now. I got a brand new wife now. So they finna let him go sing to Sweet Tea because they
not
have
you
been
bring up his song. I'm done.
I wish
I'm
they had it up so
done.
I could play it. So that's somebody example of somebody who did not understand the assignment. You wanted to fight with these older women, like, girl, you should have gave them your ass to kiss like Quad did. You could have played your part better. And then Sweet Tea was, I hate to get off topic, but Sweet Tea was acting hurt. Did you see her video where she was like, I just want to raise
Yeah.
my fans? I was like, girl, you ain't got no damn fans.
But she do. She
She got a
does have
brand new
fans.
life now. She ain't got no damn fans. I don't
She
care.
said, I'm not a quitter. So she was trying to let us know that I did not quit the show. They did not ask us to return back.
But did
But
you
she
not
could have
quit?
played her cards better.
She
Huh?
could have. Because did you not quit though? I felt like she kept saying stuff like,
Mm-mm.
I don't know if we coming to the reunion. I don't know if we coming back. Well, when you don't know, they'll surely make the decision for you. And I think that's exactly what happened here.
And that's where she messed up because you can't keep on saying something and just hoping that somebody like feels you and they just be like, oh, kiss your ass and be like,
Uh-huh.
oh no, please, please come to the reunion. Please film.
That's what she
Please do
thought.
this. No,
That's what
it's
she thought.
only so many times somebody cry wolf before we say, forget the
Bye.
wolf. Can't
Deuces.
worry about it.
I don't know if they'll get rid of a Nene, if they'll get rid of a D. Who is Sweet Tea?
Baby,
Nobody.
Sweet Tea said
Baby.
she that girl.
Nobody.
She
Ah,
said she that girl.
no, no, ma'am. So yeah, Sweet Tea is fired. I hate to have brought her in, and yeah, but she was freed of the bullshit.
I thought you
Uh,
was finna say I hate that happened to her. And I was like,
I don't.
oh.
I don't. I think that they could have very well, in a perfect world, I would have liked to see Sweet Tea and Greg come back. I would have liked her to come back understanding the assignment. I would have liked her to come back and play along to get along and still kick up shit. Like it's a way to not like somebody, but you got to look at it. You was talking about not coming back and you making all this money. Now you got to go back to your government job, making probably 60 a year, and you was getting hundreds for 3 or 4 months. You dropped the ball. Quit, I'm calling on you. Tag you in.
Because my finger was hurting
Well, mine
from
was too when
holding
I
it up.
got but
um, we have already discussed once I like somebody, I'm invested, right?
so you love Sweet
And
Tea. Go ahead.
you lucky you are not close because you tried it. I'm a Quad fan. And
Yes,
I
you are.
don't feel like she
Yes, you are.
needs to be around her abuser. I feel
I
like it was trash bringing this young man around.
agree.
It's trash. So, bye bye. Toodles.
And I was not a huge Quad fan. I think this season I really started to Quad started to be likable to me. Um, yeah, but I didn't agree with them coming back either. I didn't agree with them coming back either. And Simone can laugh all the way out the door with her buck teeth right after them folk. Cause she was dead ass wrong for that. Nobody wants that. None of them heifers would like it. I hope that somehow Curtis's mistress find a way to walk her
I'm
ass
done. I'm
because I'm like, if y'all
done.
doing this kind of stuff to Quad, if y'all could do it to Sweet Tea in a disrespectful way you could, it's time for Jackie to show up and prove. I just
But
like if they tip,
but
they need that.
the difference between Jackie and Quad,
They respect.
Jackie will say, I'm not coming on the show.
Mm.
Quad needs a check.
And I feel her. And she came on and she got it when she told them folks she finna throw that thing in a circle and they favorite.
Period. 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 And I'm not mad at her getting the check. I mean,
Me
y'all
either.
ain't gotta do much for the check.
Me either.
So
Me either.
I'm here for the check, for access to the money. Okay.
I needed a raise from what she did at the end of that last season because I left that marriage and I love him. And I love her. He pissed that man off so bad. He was like, you got a big mouth. You
You sound just like a I'm done.
she was
I'm
like
done.
Gregory Cicero Lunsford.
Gregory. She said that man name so hard. Gregory.
She was like, you hurt me deep. Gregory Cicero Lunsford. But anyway, I don't know how we keep getting into marriage and that.
Okay, we
But
gotta stay focused.
she need a raise. Give her a raise, okay? She need a raise.
Please do. Okay,
So we
back to Real Housewives.
yeah, because we was at the sit down with Angela and Kelly. They exchanged pleasantries.
Hmm.
They flash back. They addressed Kelly saying something about Charles having a side baby because from last
Yeah.
week's episode, that was just weird. I felt like they were all kind of tag teaming Angela, and she brought that comment up. Kelly did. So I was like, "What? Why y'all? Why so much? Y'all doing too much on Angela?"
So you have to understand, well, one thing that I have picked up from Kelly is she's a loyal friend. She's what they used to do, ride or
But who
die.
she's loyal to though in that moment?
Britt Edie,
Oh,
remember? Angela and Britt Edie were arguing. So now I have to add my 2 cents to support my friend.
okay, but I didn't. And she did say Kelly did say that her and Britt were close coming onto the show together, and now they are.
Mhm,
Now she's close
mhm,
to Shamia. So we gonna watch the tides continue to turn. And which
mhm.
that I didn't expect anybody to be friends with Britt, honestly. But considering I
I'm
figured
not
she
about to play.
was right away, I should have equally aligned her with Portia because they are both two dumbass peas and one stupid ass pod.
Two brains will.
Two birds. You put their brains in one bird, that bitch gonna fly backwards. He might not fucking fly. The motor skills and the sensory skills ain't connect. That fucking bird gonna fall right on the fucking ground.
That
Don't even
bird
know
will be
how to
lost,
thing.
confused.
Yeah. So Angela explains the story about,
Oh
how they
yeah, Wendy
really how
Williams.
she got Wendy Williams. So if you want to figure that out, you go find the interview. We don't want to talk about it. It wasn't that interesting. But then Angela talks about infidelity in her marriage. I'm not married, you married. So she was like, people all
Yeah.
get this bubble gums and raindrops and rainbows, but the shit, it's hard. And we have these sidebar conversations a lot about marriage. I'm not
Mhm.
married. She's
Mhm.
definitely married, been with him since the 99s and the
She
2000s.
said she definitely married.
She been with him since she was working with some ass shit. She bad shit. Make her spin his last shit. Well, I got the words wrong. But yeah. So Biddy, when people talk about that, and this is a sidebar off the show, when people be like, that comes along with marriage.
Who
And
marriage?
that's why I wanted to ask you that question.
See, that's when I have to
Everybody says
exit.
that though.
That's
Tell me.
when I have to exit myself at the conversation because I don't know anything about that. Um, but I love that she was able to speak her truth.
Mhm.
However, the
Mhm.
way she was talking, I don't understand how they made this far. It ain't for me to understand
Yeah.
though,
Cause she's
right?
yeah.
It's not for me to understand. She said people calling her, doing this with her man. And she said, I'm telling these folks, that's my husband.
Mhm.
That's my husband. Y'all need to lay back. And she was like, baby girl, you need to be having that conversation with Charles.
And she said, I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but this is another reason why I said I like Angela. And it's part of the reason why it's somebody on one of these shows that I just don't respect because I'm like, just say I'm staying with my husband. Just
I'm
say
like, that's it.
I'm staying with
I'm
your
staying
husband.
with him.
Like, cause everybody go through things. Everybody, your tolerance is different from mine. If I want to
Hmm.
stay with my nigga who's stressing me out, let me stay with him in peace. But I just be wanting people to just say, I don't give a damn if he cheated with 15 women. I ain't leaving. And I think Rashida has done it without saying it. Like I'm just using her as
Rashida said her husband has only cheated once, and that was when he had that
I heard her
baby.
say that, and I immediately went to the next interview.
And
I was
I
like,
said, okay, Rashida girl.
if
She
she,
going to the grave with hers, baby. She
okay,
said that man cheated once. And I'm
and
like,
that's
I
when I
saw him in the pool with two. Okay, so let's neither here nor there.
you must be delusional. That's a juice song, by the way. It's a delusional song. That's a good song too. I like it. So that was another reason why I said I liked Angela. Okay, speaking of that conversation, she did mention to Kelly that she was a little disappointed that neither of them said anything. Question for you. So if we were there, I know in the past, but when you are a child, you think like a child and you say childish things. I know there
You were
may
a
have been
child.
I'd be like, girl, I'll take your nigga, I take your hoe. You know what I'm saying? But again, I feel like that's when you are a child and you have childlike thoughts and you don't understand the importance of marriage. You don't understand the union. So for Portia to be saying this at almost fucking 50 is what really took me back. So I'm gonna ask
And
you this:
after 2 marriages.
failed marriage. You forgot failed. Um, do you do you agree with Angela that you would have expected somebody to speak up, especially like, well, she ain't had no friends, she don't have no allies. So would you have expected someone who is married to say something?
Um, this is the thing. I mean, common sense. Even if you would not have spoken up at the moment, wouldn't have laughed with it.
Yeah.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
That did make sense.
So I ain't never been one of those girls that have been like, "Oh, I'll take her man. She better shut the fuck.
Yeah.
She better shut up before I take her man." You
Say
know,
it.
that's not those are not words that I have shared. I
Yeah.
mean, as we stated, I've been my mind. I mean, I've been my mind. Blah, blah, I've been with mine a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah. I
A
said it
jail
the
sentence
times. I gave
will be
all.
waiting on me
Yes.
with my name on it. If
Hmm.
someone tried mine, so I don't play those games with other people.
Yeah.
So if I heard it, I would not have laughed, but I would have said something to Portia. I would have been like, "Girl, you doing too much, girl.
I could see you.
Somebody take away the henny. Take it away.
I was
Like
gonna say
water for you."
they're the best. They were drinking. So do you think that even in a time where you are inebriated and everybody y'all having a good old kiki and she just said it and everybody was laughing, do you think you still wouldn't have laughed?
No, and then for me, I would have been looking at her
Sideways, like
like,
she was right.
yes. I'm like, this how she really feel. Where this come from? I and yeah,
Yeah,
I would not have taken it that way. I would have looked at Portia differently. I'm like, girl, you better not even look at a poster of mine. I'm gonna knock your head sideways.
right. Okay, okay. I like that perspective. I see that too, like not laughing. Um, I don't
That
know.
lady was there.
Yeah, I
She
know.
was there.
Yeah, I
Like
understand.
what
I
in
understand.
what world was that okay? Like I was confused. I didn't get it.
But I keep
And
trying to
then
put myself in a situation like, damn, if I was there, would I have said something? Looking at her and knowing what you just came out of and you just took that lady man, whether you took him or not, I would have probably been looking at you like, girl, you can't never come over my house. I probably, even if I didn't say anything, I probably would have like been like, okay, I know where to keep her if she would have said it.
yes, absolutely,
You gotta
absolutely.
compartmentalize people.
But I know for a fact I would not have laughed. I would have been looking at her sideways. Like seriously. Like, girl, something is wrong with you.
Yeah. In that
I'm like,
same
you really like that?
that's when Angela got on the subject about Shamia and Portia. She shared with Kelly the things that Shamia confided in her about the lopsided
Wow.
of her and Portia's relationship. And Kelly mind some came in her confessional. She said something that kind of I was just like, I know you want the pot called the kettle. She was like, um
Stay out their business.
yeah, she was like, I think that Angela should just stay out of it, stay out of her business because it's none of her business. I'm like, but didn't you do the same thing when you came in hot on Portia, asking her why did she take that
Mm.
lady's husband? So I don't think that was a great statement for you to say because it's contradictory of your behavior thus far. Even when you just asked Angela on the very last episode about a side baby, that was not your business.
Mm.
I think so. Yeah, short mixed stuff, and you need to stay in your place about that. You got any thoughts about that?
Why would you call that lady short mixed stuff up?
A little leprechaun. Every time I feel like her
She's
outfits
so
never
short.
leave me because they look like smashed,
She
like it's always
just so
smashed.
short.
Yeah,
I mean, but it doesn't make it any better that everybody is so tall around her.
I
You wanna
feel
know
like
what? I don't know how tall Portia is,
I
but
think Portia
like Cynthia, Angela, they tall. Drew is
is short.
she not that tall, but she taller than her. So
Look like she about 4'9". Kelly looks extremely short. Yeah,
yeah, she
uh-huh.
teetering.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that word, I'm not gonna say it.
The next scene was with Britt and her husband. I don't care nothing about it. Did you have any?
We're not gonna give Britt Edie a chance.
I mean, you can. I'm here
She
to listen.
No, she was just saying that their relationship is going to get better with her sister because her husband took the initiative to talk to her sister. I
Mhm.
mean, considering that I have sisters and then they have men and we all talk, chat, I like that he did that because he didn't have to. She said she didn't tell him to. So he was like, okay, not even necessarily for my wife. I'm just going to make things smoother around for everybody. Let me have a conversation with her. So I like that part. I don't know much about him, but that was good,
This
good
whole
character.
story, I don't know if I'm not invested because I don't feel like they've done a lot of character building with Brit.
Yeah,
She hasn't been relatable. When she was introed as, oh, I used to go with these rappers. I used to be a video whore. Can you put me on a post?
yikes,
In my mouth. They didn't develop her in a way that
yikes.
she was likable to me. And for me to be invested in somebody, I have to like them. I just don't care about any of her story. Her mama moving in, her trying to get pregnant, her strained relationship with her sister, her insurance company, her license that was almost lost. I just don't care. So I just don't care. And then she went with this scene with her husband, and she was like, I- with the teeth that go over the overbite that make her whole mouth and jawline look old. It was just like,
God.
just bye. Next, Angela met with Portia. Angela invited Portia to the rental property, and they were doing a little Venus and Serena. They was playing little tennis or whatever. And they was playing tennis, and Angela was like, I ain't invite this hoe to my house. She said she was gonna
I
ask my husband. Faith said she was gonna
period,
ask my husband. She can't come to my house. So
period.
Angela
She
invited her.
smart.
Yeah, and Angela's daughter too was there who got married. We found out that
Hmm.
she was married to a young lady. So
Hmm.
could that be the reason why she didn't invite her mom to, you know?
No, well, she referenced that in the previous episode.
Oh, I didn't
You
hear.
know, when you heard partner, you
Yeah.
already
You
know what's up.
Yeah, you already know. So I'm like, I wonder if Angela said she was receptive, like she just want her
Yeah,
kid to be happy. But I wonder could
yeah.
there be a reason that she doesn't share? Her daughter was also like, it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big deal, but getting married is a big deal. So I
To
feel like
you,
it to me. So
to
it's not a
you.
big deal to some people. I understand it's not a big deal. Like you don't want a big wedding, you don't want to invite people, but your mama didn't even know you was getting married.
This is the thing. People have to add the to me at the end of a lot of sentences. A lot. Because she's not obligated to tell her mom
Mm-hmm.
certain things. I'm at a point where I'm grown. I think she living. I don't think she living with her mom anymore.
Mm-hmm. No, she doesn't.
So yeah, so I mean, I don't have to share. I don't have to.
This is
And
true.
then this is my business. Like you want me to also tell you, oh, me and my partner, we made love yesterday. Like, how much do I share?
Not fair. That's not fair because I feel okay. I don't know if these are you, but recently, did I not say if I were to get married and don't tell nobody for a year, you said you would feel away?
I would feel away because I know how you are,
No,
which
that's
means no, no,
no,
no, no, no, no, no, no,
okay, okay.
no. If you were a secretive person, then that would make
I
sense.
can't keep nothing.
But Biddy, you can't hear me?
Yeah, I said because I can't keep no secrets. I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to tell.
Well, not even that. It's that you would like to relish in the fact of somebody congratulating you for your wedding. I would like to get you a gift. I would like to I would like to do the whole shebang, the bridal shower, the everything, the bachelorette party. It's like, what are we even talking about? Like, I know you in real life. I know. And then I felt like if you did it that way, you're being secretive for a reason.
That's a lie. Why couldn't I not want to share it with anybody to see how to? Because I might have to get an annulment. So I don't know
I'm
if
not about to play with you.
why can't I keep it a secret? Because I'm like, this, I want it to work. So before I share it, let me make sure I have some healthy ground to walk on
Mhm.
prior to sharing this news. So I feel like
I feel
that's
two ways about this statement though. But again, like we said earlier, it isn't my relationship, so I can't say too much about it. But the fact that you said you want to make sure that you're on a like a good foundation, I mean, you should do that before you get.
no, but I think that most people say the first year of marriage is the hardest. So I think that that's not a fair statement to say either because we both agree that Married at First Sight is a great show.
I love that show.
And so it's taking a chance on somebody. You don't know what the road is gonna look like. You know it's gonna be some shit. You don't know if it's gonna be diarrhea, it's gonna be some constipation, boo-boo. You don't know.
So I can't put myself in that box either because I can't say that my first year was hard.
Right.
But you also know that me and my husband was together for 10 years before we got married. So, I mean, once we got married, we in a honeymoon stage all over again. Like this is a new thing for us. So, I feel like and I don't even know if I should make that statement either. I was going to say, I'll just say I was going to say if you haven't if you have trouble that first year of marriage, would you ask yourself, should we have gotten married at that time? But I don't feel like that's a accurate statement to make or question to ask because again, everybody is different. Who knows? Like, many different things come into play that can change your whole relationship. Like maybe a baby came to play, maybe death came to play, maybe financial reasons came to play. I don't know. So that's why I want to backtrack a little bit, but I want to ask it like what Heavenly say, I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna take it back.
That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. I feel like we can talk about this forever. And I feel like
Mhm.
that's a relationship conversation because I'm having some back and forths right now. So we definitely got to talk about that. But I do want to just kind of continue on the episode. During this sit down with Angela and Portia, Portia does invite Angela to her Pamper by Portia event, which is really pretty by
Mhm.
the way. Um and Angela then proceeds to tell Portia about the conversations that she had with Shamia. Do you think
Yeah,
that Angela was trying to be spiteful? I don't. And
I
they were
don't either.
no, I felt like the way she brought it was pretty healthy. And it from what we saw, she said everything that we thinking. The relationship does seem like the scale isn't even.
Why
Mhm.
do you think Portia, I agree with what you just said. Why do you think Portia started crying? Do you think she know that she hasn't been, let me not say no, because we don't know everything.
Yes, I was gonna say that. I feel like you know when you're not being a good friend. And that the truth hurts. I think the truth
Yeah, it does.
is her asshole, and she felt it. And when you got to hear it from somebody else, but you already know it,
Mm-hmm.
relationships are hard. Not just boy and girl or you partner and partner.
Yep.
Friendships
Friends,
are harder than
jobs,
relationships
co-workers. Yeah.
because you confide in
That's
your friends with more pretty, probably more than you confide in your partners. So I know when I'm not being a good friend. I think I've called and said that before. I don't think I've been a good friend. You know what's going on with you? Because I feel like I call a lot and talk about my problems. I feel guilty. I've said that before. I know I have. So yeah, Portia felt it. She knows it. What do
I
you
was
think?
like, dang, do better. Do
Let's do
better. I was just like, okay, is she crying because Shamia said something to somebody else, or is she crying because she's like, dang, maybe I haven't been a good friend?
it was a
I
combination.
couldn't decide
It was a com-
which one. Okay, that
yeah,
would make sense.
yeah.
That
And
would make sense.
that of Portia taking accountability, we seen in this episode that she did exactly what I think somebody like her would do. She tried to shift blame. Okay, I'm a bad guy. I'm a piece of shit. Oh, I'm a piece of
Oh
shit.
yeah.
want to find anybody else to blame instead of saying, okay, I don't agree with this right now because I'm up here with it. My temper ain't right. Because when somebody do
Right.
something about yourself, it do make you mad. Because I know it make me the fuck mad. I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck you think. But when I sit with it and I replay it, and I'm not sure if this is my anxiety that leads me this way, but I'm just like, okay, I can see how. Oh, I
You
hate to
came to that.
see this. I hate that. I gotta say that you right a little bit, but I still disagree. So I think it was a combination of those things. Because she cried. Angela didn't even know how to console this hoe, and I don't even think she wanted. She was like, "Oh, don't cry, home record ass bitch. No, don't cry." So yeah. Uh
Oh gosh.
I mean, I feel like we should just skip to the Pamper by Portia event. We did see Drew for a brief moment saying
Pampered.
her and
Sure.
Ralph went, but girl, you live in your damn basement. Next.
I don't know who has been styling Drew clothes wise, makeup wise, and her wise, but she has been looking good.
Improvement, definitely improvement. In her wigs and her
Yes,
makeup.
God.
Even
Yes.
her clothes look better, but I still feel like she still look tacky. And when I say tacky, her and Shamia do this similar thing of tacky to me. Sometimes it's like a lot of label stuff, and it just looks tacky. It looked like you were just happy you had this Chanel and Fendi, and you just threw that shit all on. You can put
She
shit
said,
on,
"This go."
yeah.
She said, "Do this go?
I'd be like, no, they could have told you no.
Do this go?" I mean, it got white in it.
You can
Okay,
put
I'm
that
a
shit
word.
on.
I'm a
You
word
better know
together.
how to put this shit on. And Portia know how to put this shit on. Portia, I have said earlier this season, I didn't drag her, but I'm like, she looks like a housewife. Um,
Yeah, Angela does as well. Angela looks like a mom
yeah,
sometimes,
but
and
she
I
looks
don't know if what is that supposed to mean because
Shamia
all
did
of them are moms,
say
but she looks like she's about to pick her kids up from school or aftercare or something sometimes.
wrong,
But
wrong.
I still like the way I still like the way Angela dressed. I have been liking Drew stuff lately.
Mhm.
Um Brit, I mean, everything is just supposed to be so sexy.
But
Like
cool.
that's it. It's just
Oh, yeah.
one note.
Yes, because even at the Pamper by Portia, I was like, I was
What
looking
does
at
she got on?
everybody's outfits. I was just like, hers just looked low budget, streetwalker, cheap. It just until she put on the cover over, then I was like, okay, she looked better. But it was just like you was the only one that came in a crotchless bodysuit. It just, yeah. Drew looked really good. Drew, I
Not a
love
crush.
the all black. Drew looked really good. Shamia
Mm-hmm.
looked really good. Her tone and that purple, she looked really good. Cynthia looked
Uh-huh.
less. Um,
I like Cynthia's look
missed
as well. Who?
Kelly. Hers missed for me. It looked like she was gonna walk in the Victoria's Secret Angel show. It was like a big prop. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I think that was the look she was going for though,
I
if I'm
did
not
too.
mistaken.
I did too.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. I didn't like her or Breeze. They were both the worst to me.
Dang.
Uh, at the Pamper by Portia event, I love the event. I love that they were pampered. They got massages. They took
Mm-hmm.
photos. I really liked her event. I think it was very well put together. They did like sound baths, and that's
I
when
want to
kind
do a sound bath.
of that's kind of when she hit the fan. You could tell it was awkward between her and Shamia at this event. I think
Mm-hmm.
Shamia didn't know. You can see that Shamia was like, "Oh, let me get a picture. I'm the co-pilot. Let me get a picture with you." And I think that when Kelly pulled her to the side and said, "Hey, Angela told," I think it was like me. It's like I was watching myself in that moment. I was like, it went down. She couldn't recover,
She
and I
could
was like,
not recover.
I'm like that. I couldn't recover. So I let you leave with
I
that.
was like, dang, like, girl, lay back. She was like, they told us lay back if we feel safe, and I don't feel safe. And I was just like, girl, come, let's enjoy the party. Like, just relax. It's okay, Bookie. It's okay. But she had to let it out. Like she couldn't be fake. Like I can't indulge in any of this until I have a conversation.
She mentioned that, I can't even believe that she would let somebody tell her something and not bring it to me. But then again, I was like, Shamia, didn't you do that? Because you did that to some capacity, whether you think you did or not, right? She did,
Well,
because you shared something with Angela, but she also said like whatever she shared with Angela, she had already shared with Portia. But it
uh-huh.
seemed that way because Portia acted like she was also blindsided.
Oh, do you
Go
Portia
ahead.
wasn't blindsided.
I didn't
Um,
buy it either. I just didn't want to attack Portia because I've been tearing her ass up. Okay, I'm glad you
so
said it.
so dog,
You
you
lost
made me forget my train of thought.
I said Shamia. I said, but isn't that the same thing that you did, Shamia? You mentioned being upset with Portia about
Oh,
telling you something. So go ahead. I just wanted you to
okay.
catch up.
What I was gonna say was, I thought that was very telling that Portia said everybody knows the reason why I didn't go is because we weren't even talking to each other
We didn't know.
like a month before that.
Mhm.
And then Shami was like, I didn't know that was the reason why you didn't come. Now that would have pissed
Yeah.
me
Yep.
off.
I felt it. I
I
knew
know
it.
me. I
Mhm.
I I know me. That would have pissed me off.
Yeah. If I tell you one reason and then somebody else tell me another reason in front of it, yeah, that's why she was pissed off.
Yeah,
I wonder,
yeah.
God, I wonder what, regardless of what it was, why would you come to that, not come to that one, and then you gonna try to show up in Atlanta? So
She knew that one would hurt more.
I think so, and I think it was also a jealousy thing. I do think that
I agree.
the jealous person, and when you look at things just from a 2020 visual perspective, you like, but why would she be jealous? And jealousy has nothing to do with a physical or how you look. People are jealous of you because
Hmm.
they feel like, well, why is this happening for you and it's not happening for
Right.
me? And I'm one of those people where I don't like calling people a hater,
Mm.
and this is why, because I've been insecure before. I'm a woman. You see women that look better than you every day. You see people with shapes. You're like, well, why am I'm in the gym? Why can't I lose the weight? Why can't I do this? But you got to understand that stuff starts with you. And if your spirit ain't right, if you ain't right deep down in
Right.
your core, shit else ain't gonna be right. So you got to watch how you, when I'm feeling away, I won't go somewhere. If I'm feeling like down on myself, I'm not gonna go out with y'all. I'm not gonna be, around all these other people. So I think that's where Portia falls short, and she ain't realized that's why she ain't won yet. She ain't
Mm,
won yet.
mm,
She ain't right.
mm.
You ain't gonna
And
never be happy.
the funny part is she's winning, but she hasn't won.
Yep, yep. She ain't won,
What
and ain't
she wants, she's not gonna be able to get until she gets right within.
herself. That's it, and that's just
Yeah, yeah. So you winning in other aspects. You on this show. You got your businesses. Your little girl is thriving. Everything is good in that retrospect. But what you really want, you ain't got.
yeah. So that was pretty much the end of the episode when Shamia and Portia kind of exchanged words about, they went back and forth. What, you got any context about that?
No, I'm interested. Well, we already know the ending results of that. They are still not friends, but I'm curious to see what their conversation was like on the next episode.
Me too, because we do see that the sit down is coming on
Yep.
episode 11. So, yep, yep, yep. Well, this was a really good video. Next time you take the notes and you gotta leave because I'm tired.
Will do. Will do.
Until next time, the biddies is out.
Peace.